안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 소라입니다.
And I'm Ed, and you're listening to the
마마사 제주 podcast. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Mamasar Jeju. So last week we have talked about the overview of Jeju Olleh Trail, and today we're going to talk about Mini Olleh Trail. But actually, there's no such thing like Mini Olleh Trail. And then my co-host Ed invented this Mini Olleh Trail. Hey Ed, what is Mini Olleh Trail?
a few episodes ago we talked about hikes for hike haters, and back then it was something that I did for my family. Yes, everything I'm doing is for my family's trip to Jeju at the end of the year. And so I really wanted to try and get some of my family members to come with me on the Olleh Trail because I've had such a great experience on it. And so I figured, okay, it is not realistic for them to do the whole trail because that's like 6 to 8 hours every day. But maybe I can get them to like come for part of the trail, and maybe if I get them the Jeju Olleh Trail passport, and then I can get them to 1, 2, 3, or 4 different stamping stations where they can put the stamp of the trail number in their passport. Maybe in the future they'll come back again and walk the rest of the trail with me. So this is actually just a very sad way of me to try and get my family members to join me to do the whole Olleh Trail in the future. But for now, in the short term, I'm just hoping that having an opportunity to get a taste of the Olleh Trail, they will get hooked. And then we will be able to come back and do the full trail.
So this is your secret strategy for your family.
It was a secret until I told the whole world about it on this podcast.
Now everyone knows.
That's right.
When you made up this Mini Olleh Trail, what was the standards of Mini Olleh Trail?
Well, in keeping with the spirit of, hikes for hike haters, it shares some similar considerations. Number one, it cannot take too long. So it's going to be longer than the hikes for hike haters. It's going to be like 3, 4 hours, maybe, not 6 to 8 hours. But it's not the full length Olleh Trail. So that's number one. Number two, it cannot be too difficult. So no major, Gunsan Orums or anything like that. And then number three is it's got to be really close to bus stops because like we talked about last time, Sorrow, like you cannot, if you drive, then you got to walk all the way back to your car. So ideally, both start and stop locations are going to be within 15 minutes walking to a bus stop. And finally, it has to have at least one stamping station. So it could be a starting point of a actual Olleh Trail course or a midpoint or an endpoint. But the whole idea is to at least get my family and I guess our listeners to at least have one stamp in their passport.
Yeah. I think with all this standard, I can think of 1 or 2 places, which is my favorite and next to my apartment again. I think we've been talking about Sarabong Oreum like many times. I think our listeners all know about this. And actually,
By now, you've talked about Sarabong so much. Like, I think we should have a national campaign to change the name to Sorabong. We can do it.
actually,
All our listeners should petition the Korean government to change the name of Sarabong to Sorabong. Let's do this,
could
everybody.
be. We have like many petitions. So actually, this trail is the starting point of Trail 18, Olleh Trail number. It's gonna take around like less than 1 hour, and you're gonna see all these murals and like the harbor from top of the Sarabong. And since Sarabong is still in the city, so there's like mini bus coming near the bus stop. So you can just walk like around 10-15 minutes to the bus stop and then get those buses to go to the city or outside the city. Another one I can think of right now is Dodubong. Dodubong is very popular because it's near the airport and also near the Rainbow Coastal Road. So you can just take some photos in the Rainbow Coastal Road and then go up to Dodubong. It's not too far. It's going to take around like 1 hour. And of course, along that Rainbow Coastal Road, you're going to see like many cafes and restaurants. So you can take some time there as well.
So the stamping station is going to be at the Eoyong, which is close to the airport runway actually. And that park has great views along the Rainbow Coastal Road. So that whole thing is going to be about 1 hour to walk, 1 hour to 1.5 hours, and you would stamp the in your Jeju Olleh Trail passport. It'll be Trail 17, the midpoint. And just be aware that there's local buses here, but they are not as frequent as the one in Sarabong, like Sora was talking about. So just check the schedules, and maybe it's going to be like every 1 hour or so. It'll be the green buses, the green local buses.
Okay, so this was the near the airport, Jeju City, north coast. Then let's go to the east, right? Like northeast first.
Yeah, and so the northeast coast, we have another one that it is something that I think we'll cover in the future when we talk about K-drama shooting locations. But this one is going to be the northeast coast from Haengwon to Gimyeong Beach. And so this one is going to be part of the Jeju Olleh Trail 20. And the place where you stamp your passport, your Jeju Olleh Trail passport, is the midpoint. The midpoint stamping area is going to be very close to a windmill generator, and it's going to be in the area of the Abebe Bakery and Camel Coffee. They're actually built over lava rock, and there's going to be a nice little lava rock path that will take you from the cafe to the wind generator where the stamping station is. And then from there, you will head west along Woljeongni Beach. That's a beautiful walk. And one of the things to look out for is a windmill generator complex where you can go and learn about windmills and all of that. And so that's a very interesting place to stop over as well. So you will pass Woljeongni Beach, and which lots of cafes, and you'll end at Gimyeong Beach, which also has a lot of cafes. So this stretch is going to be a flat walking, great views, windmills. It's a K-drama shooting location near the Abebe Bakery, and lots of things to eat. And on both ends, the buses are less than 10 minutes away. In fact, on Gimyeong Beach, you can take bus 201 from Jeju City. The walk from the bus stop to Gimyeong Beach is just 3 to 5 minutes. So, Sora, you've walked this route before, right?
Right, not whole of the trail, but I've been to like many places here, like Woljeongni, Gimyeong, Haengwon, all of these places, and it is beautiful. If the weather is nice, we call it emerald color beach. You're gonna see like blue sparkling water. It's beautiful. And then with those beautiful color, you're gonna see the wind power generator, the wind turbine. So a lot of Koreans like to go there, take photos, and of course, having time in the cafe.
Yeah, when I was walking this stretch with my cousin Dar, we had actually started late in the day, and so two things I remembered. One was there was this couple taking their wedding photos, and then they'll take photos, we'll pass them, we'll say 안녕하세요, we'll keep walking, and then they pass us, and then they stop at the next place, and then they get out and take photos, and then we pass them again. And so we're like basically leapfrogging each other. I think on that stretch, we met them like 3 to 4 times. And finally, the last time they said hi to us before we said hi to them, which is unusual because Koreans usually don't care about strangers, but I guess we've stopped becoming strangers. So that's the first thing. The second thing was when we kept walking, the sun was setting, and wow, the sunset. I didn't expect to see a great sunset on the northeastern part, but it was beautiful. The sunset was amazing. So yeah, we lucked out on that one.
It's also beautiful in summer to swim and snorkel around. It's also like famous place for snorkeling as well because it's beautiful and the water is not too deep and you're gonna see like many fishes in the water. So we talked about northeast, so let's go to further east. So of course, East Coast, the most popular place is Seongsan Sunrise Peak. For me, rather than Seongsan Sunrise Peak, I like Gwangchigi Beach. It's end of trail number 1 and start of trail 2. And from this beach, you're gonna see Seongsan Sunrise Peak with all these backgrounds of beaches and the waters and the mountain itself.
And so this stretch here, you're going to be starting from the end point of Trail 1, where you can get your stamp and then you're going to walk towards Songsan Ilchubong. You're going to go through the town of Songsan Ilchubong, and then it will take you across around to the port of Songsan, which is Songsan Pohang. You're going to walk over a bridge, and if you stop and look back, great view of the town of Songsan Ilchubong with Songsan Ilchubong in the background. Beautiful, beautiful shot. I took a photo of this one time, Sora, and I sent it back to my son, and he said, is this Iceland? And I said, no, it's not Iceland, it's Jeju. Because from a distance, you cannot tell that the buildings are not Icelandic buildings, but from a distance, it almost looks like Iceland. Keyword being almost.
But also, like, when I planned to travel Iceland, I felt like it's so similar to Jeju. So I was like, should we really need to go to Iceland? Because we're living in Jeju, it's so similar.
You know how I always say that Jeju is like 80% of Hawaii, but 30% of the cost? Iceland is going to be like more expensive than Hawaii. So this one is really great for those members of my family who don't like to walk too much, because the same bus number, 201, serves both the start and end points of this mini trail. So it's really easy. Literally less than 5-minute walks from both bus stops, and the same bus will take you back and forth within like 5-10 minutes.
And another one I really like is Sehwa Beach. It's start point of Trail 21. And the reason why I like this place, it's because the beach is beautiful, but also there's history of like Henya woman diver. We have museum there, and also Purtok, which was the community center of the women. And of course, you're gonna see like beautiful beach and farms, also like inshore routes. One of my favorite part is Pyeolbangjin Fortress. So right in front of Hado Beach, you will see like small fortress wall, and you can actually go up to the wall to see those beach. And like in the winter and spring, we have full of canola flower inside. So a lot of people come to take photos with canola flower and then the fortress as well. It's really beautiful.
Right. And we've talked about the Hanyo Museum multiple times. And so the stamping station for Trail 21 is actually across the street from the Hanyo Pangmogwan, the Hanyo Museum. And then we've also mentioned how that there's a Sumisuri Kill. Sumisuri Kill is a Hanyo heritage walk that starts from the Hanyo Museum and ends at the Hanyo Museum in a loop. But part of the loop actually takes you through the farmlands of that area, and that is actually part of the Jeju Olleh Trail 21 as well. So basically, you will walk out towards the Pyeongbanjin Fortress, and then you can walk in a loop back towards the Hanyo Museum. But here's a bonus. If you want to get 2 stamps on this route, the good news is just 15-20 minutes east of the fortress is the midpoint stamping station. And so if you decide to get 2 stamps for Route 21, then you could actually push another 15 minutes. And then if you're tired, you can take a bus back to the Hanyo Museum, or you can continue to walk back towards the Hanyo Museum. One thing I would note is that that's the midpoint for Olleh Trail 21, is that there is this place that sells kalguksu that Jaden took me to. And so we had seafood kalguksu. Kalguksu is, I'm sorry.
What is kalguksu?
Yeah, so kalguksu is knife-cut noodles in a broth. The one that Jaden ordered had like sea urchins and maybe abalone and some other stuff. I didn't want to tell him that I didn't like seafood, so I ate it. It was good. I just didn't eat the seafood. And if you do go to this one, which is just, like I said, across the street from the midpoint stamping station, bring some extra dollar bill or whatever. You can stick it on the wall or the ceiling, because there's money from all over the world on the walls and on the ceiling, so you can just add to that.
So in the south, we have Seogwipo City, the second biggest city in Jeju Island. And actually, the headquarters of Olleh Trail is in Seogwipo City, not in Jeju City. And there's a big gift shop across the headquarters. Did you buy something from there?
Yeah, of course I did. I bought like scarves and stuff, not for myself, for somebody else. My whole evil genius plan is like, if I can get some people in my family to get to do a few of the trails, get some stamps into the passports, and then go to the gift shop, they will feel more excited about the Jeju Olleh Trail. Right outside the Jeju Olleh Trail headquarters is going to be the stamping station for the beginning of trail number 7 or the end of trail number 6. It is the same place. And so depending on which way you want to go, if you hit one way, you're going to walk towards the Sokupo Daily Market, as well as Chongban Waterfall and Yejeongsop Street. We mentioned a few of these places already in the hikes for hike haters, but in this case, we've extended it a little bit more to include the opportunity to do shopping at the Jeju Olleh Trail Foundation, as well as getting that stamp at the HQ itself. If you recall, Sora had talked about how she really liked the small Chongban waterfall. So the So Chongban waterfall, that's the Chongban waterfall, and then you keep walking, there's the So Chongban waterfall, which means the small Chongban waterfall. That is all part of the Jeju Olleh Trail 6. And so if you want to take a bus back to Sokupo City, it's just a 10-minute walk to the bus stop. So that's all very manageable. And so that's the route if you choose to walk eastwards on the Jeju Olleh Trail 6. Now imagine you've teleported back to the Jeju Olleh Trail headquarters again. If you want to go west, which is on Jeju Olleh Trail 7, you'll see a very unique site in Jeju, and that's rice fields.
So for the rice field in Jeju, actually, this is the only one rice field we have in Jeju. I mean, nowadays we have a few more, but this was the only one because Jeju is volcanic island. So those volcanic surface, when the rain comes, the water gonna go through the volcanic surfaces. So the ground cannot hold the water in it because rice field, we need to keep the water in the ground so that the rice can grow well. But in Jeju, it's not possible to hold water in the ground, so it was not possible to grow rice here. But only this place could had rice field because it has like special different surface.
And so this route is going to take you west of Sokupo City. So you're going to walk past the rice fields that Sora talked about, and you're going to pass a temple as well. And then if you look back, you see the rice fields and you see Sokupo City. And then if you keep going, you'll hit the main coastal road, and then you can call it quits when you see the Renault Courier dealership. From there, you can take a bus back to Sokupo City. It's like a 5-10 minute bus ride. This western fork is going to be about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. The eastern fork towards the Sojongban waterfall is about 60 minutes to 75 minutes. So you can choose one or the other, or you can choose both. So those are some of the mini Jeju Olleh trails that I invented for my family. Sora, what do you think about my invention?
I think it's really good because, I mean, for my guests, also they want to try like a part of Olleh Trail, but actually, I don't know much about Olleh Trail. I need to, I need to do it this year. I guess like 1 hour is really good for like looking around and then enjoy this like experience. So I think I will bring some of my guests to these mini Olleh Trail.
Well, then I have good news for you, Sora, because we've had a few more mini Olleh trails that we've put on the blog post on our website. I just didn't want to cover it because I felt it'd be a bit much for this episode, but it's definitely included on the blog post, and it's actually going to be part of the same blog post that is on hikes for hike haters. And so you can access that on vamosarjeju.com/hike. That is VAMOSAJEJU.com/hike. And there you'll see not just all the mini Olleh trails that I cooked up, you'll also see the hike for hike haters that we talked about a couple of episodes ago. And some of these are going to overlap. That is by design. It's not an accident. Basically, the hike for hike haters tends to be a bit shorter. The mini Olleh trails tends to be a bit longer, and the main difference is that with the mini Olleh trails, you get a chance to stamp your passport if you really want to. I was thinking like maybe some of your guests might be quite interested in getting the Jeju Olleh Trail passport and then having a few stamps in it. It makes a great souvenir, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yes. And then they will come back again. So
yeah,
it's great.
Exactly.
So you will be able to add mini Jeju Olleh Trail as an activity on the trip planner that we made at vamosarjeju.com/trip. And one more thing, if you found our podcast helpful, please share with your friends. It's really easy. Just tap on the horizontal three dots on the top right corner and then tap on the share show icon on Apple Podcasts. And for the Spotify, also you can find the three horizontal dots near the top right under our show art. You can also share from there.
And with that, I guess all that's left for us to say is 안녕. Mini Olleh Trail. Get all our latest articles, videos, and resources on Jeju DIY travel, culture, and history at vamosajeju.com. That's VAMOSAJEJU.com. If you would like to get updates about Jeju or even Korea sent straight to your email, sign up for our dispatches at vamosajeju.com/update.
And finally, the best way for a new podcast like this to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share us with a friend. And who knows, maybe you'll Vamos a Jeju together this year.
The Vamos or Jeju podcast is part of the Passport Optional Network.